Hi, Tug Toler, eSource Miller, a Paradigm company, here to talk about Convotherm Combi ovens and why they're a great fit for healthcare. Please join us. Why a Combi oven? Well, it makes it much easier for the staff. You don't have to have the highest level trained staff. You can have a staff that as long as they can recognize a button and push it, you can get the products that we want out of it. So, cookbook, we can go ahead and do any of the programs that are already programmed. We have favorites that we can work in, and we also have categories that we can push in and see, oh, well, let's do the crinkle cut fries. Now we just hit start, it's gonna preheat, and then they load. Also, besides just a cookbook that we can do with recipe or cooking profiles, we can use press and go. With press and go, it's gonna ask me to close the door because it has a background temperature it's trying to run at. We don't have to have that background temperature. Did you see how that door disappeared? We don't have to have that background temperature, but in this case we do. Now it's just, what do we want to cook? Go find it. One of the reasons for a combi, especially in healthcare, is prep. Maybe you need to blanch some vegetables, right? Instead of getting a big pot of water going and getting it boiling to just put in the vegetables for 90 seconds and then drop it into some ice, we can blanch in here. Steam it at 212, steam it at 160 degrees. Whatever you'd like to be able to get that blanch, and you don't even have to mess with any hot water. It's much safer, much easier. Maybe you want to do roasted vegetables. Maybe you need to do some roasting of some poblano to go ahead and take that skin off. Do that in here in Combi. So much easier, so much quicker. Same thing with like a roasted cauliflower. Broccoli, 6 minutes, 10 minutes, depending on the size, right there. All right, so I am standing in front of a 1020 gas boiler-based Convotherm Combi. What if you don't want a boiler base? What if you don't want that steam generator base? Well, great, we have spritzer bases. What if you don't want a 10 pan? I don't need a 10 pan. Maybe I don't need a 10 pan full size, I only need a 10 pan half size. Great, we have all different types. This being a 1020 means it's gonna hold 10 full size sheet pans top to bottom, technically 11th, and also 20 2.5 inch deep steam pans on the same rack that we can do. A 620 would hold 6 full size sheet pans, or 7, or 12 2.5 inch deep steam pans, hotel pans, whatever you want to call them. And we also have roll-in models. So that would be a 2020 or a 2010, which means it can do 20 full-size sheet pans or 40 2.5 inch deep steam pans for that 2020 model. We can do gas, we can do electric, we can do boiler-based, we can do spritzer-based, whatever you want, we've got. I don't know about you, I don't like cleaning things. It's just me, I don't like to. This cleans itself. All you have to do is hit that. It's gonna show us our cleaning. It's gonna go to the last thing we're on, and I have it to where I just want my staff to pick either light clean or heavy clean. If I need to get into what the differences are and all of that, there are a lot of different modes and types that I can set into here, but on the favorites, let's just make it easy and tell them light clean or heavy clean. Do that, start. It's gonna ask me to check to make sure there's no food in there. There's not. We're gonna close the door. If it's at the right temperature, it's gonna go ahead and start to clean. If it's not at the right temperature, it's gonna ask to cool down. One of my other favorite things about a Convotherm Combi is the ability to smoke. This is the smoke box. Well, is designed for the Bradley pucks, those sawdust looking pucks. It fits 8 in there. Our new one is actually gonna fit 16. So if you really want heavy smoke, we can do that for you. That goes on. If you see there's a little hole back here, that's where the heating element goes in, right back down there. Now you might say, but if I smoke in it, then it's not gonna be able to be anything other than a smoker. Not true at all. I could smoke and do a little quick rinse of the water and be able to do some sheet cakes, toast, grilled cheese, whatever it is I want to do. It's not gonna taste anything like smoke. One more thing about smoke, we weren't done yet. You don't just have to use hot smoke in here. Yeah, it's an oven, but we can also cold smoke. So once we put this in and put that on that element, the only element on, the only heat source in here that's on then is that element to go ahead and get the smoke going. After that, we put in ice in the bottom, we put ice on top of this, you get a true cold smoke. So think of the most temperature sensitive things. Butter, cheese is a great one. Perhaps salmon, it's one of my absolute favorites, is to go ahead and cold smoke salmon and then we can grill it later or sear it later. It's fantastic. You can do that in here. And you know what? It's a very cheap add-on to do it. Add it on. You wanna know my favorite reason why Convotherm Combi for healthcare? How much does it cost to have that cook go ahead and mark those chickens before we go ahead and cook them off in the oven? What are they getting? $17, $18, $20 an hour, somewhere around there? They have to stand there, mark, and then put them over, stand there, mark, put them over. How about we just cook it and mark it all at the same time? Let's see. First, I'm gonna go to the program. I'm gonna find that. It's grilled chicken. Go ahead and hit start. It's gonna ask me to close the door. And now it's gonna preheat. All right, tells us to load it. Let's load it. Chicken on a cold grill, Jim touching all over it. It's gonna go on in. This is another accessory by Convotherm that is a griddle plate that's gonna give us kind of a griddled look to it, okay? One of the best things about this is instead of guessing how long this chicken's gonna take, I don't know, is it gonna take 10 minutes, 15, 20, 25, depends on how cold, how thick. I don't need to guess, I'll just use the probe. One of the biggest tips is pull the probe out before doing probe cooking so that it's still cold and not hot. Easy. Go ahead and put that right on into the protein and let it do its thing. It's done. Take that probe out of the way. All right, let's check. Nice grill marks. Let's see what the saute looks like. See what we get inside. Nice, juicy, delicious chicken. That's really just the beginning of why Convotherm Combi ovens for healthcare. Please reach out to us if you have any questions, you want to come see one in person. We'd love to hear from you. Make sure to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.